I am live. So now hi everybody. We are here live and I am trying to go live on Instagram too, but I may have just blown it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I just selected my channel as well. Oh my goodness.
Yay! We're
Hello.
live on Square Foot Show. We're live here on YouTube. Elias, I don't know if I did it properly to go live on mine. So if you want to hook me up in the background, Elias is the tech guy that's helping today. Because last time, Wendy, I
Oh my goodness.
interviewed Dionne Woods, who was so professional. And I just messed up a whole bunch of stuff technologically.
Well, I am so excited, Julia, to be here with you. I feel like I have no clue what I'm doing either. So it's
Well,
like
we're
this
learning.
adventure, right?
Yes.
I've never even gone live on YouTube before. So this is a new
Oh,
experience
well,
for
you know
me.
what? The whole reason I'm having you on here is because I follow you on YouTube. So
Oh my
everybody,
goodness.
let me do a little announcement. I don't think we've even done an intro yet.
No,
So
we have not.
no. So I'm Julia Veenstra, and I am here live on Instagram and on YouTube. And this is Wendy Brightbill. And she is so fabulous, and she is
Oh,
in
thank you.
our Square Foot show. So here we're just getting to know some artists. So let me do you a little bit of an intro to Square Foot show if everybody doesn't even know what I'm talking about there.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, so Square Foot show is an online show that happens monthly. We've sold over $1.5 million worth of 12 by 12 paintings, over 5,000 paintings. We sell them all. Our model is we sell them all for 350 Canadian, 300 US, all the same. So every artist comes in. It's a sale for many, many artists. Some artists, because they're just emerging, it's a lift. And then we
Mhm.
always say, hey, we've just proved that you can sell your work for $350 or 300 American, so never go back.
Yeah.
Right. So we're bringing artists to collectors and collectors to artists, because I just found out yesterday, like our email list is almost 20,000 people. Like
That's
it's
amazing.
fantastic. So what happened, if you're brand new and you don't know me or Wendy, I'm Julie Veenstra. I'm a co-founder of the Square Foot Show, and I started this in my studio about 7 or 8 years ago, and maybe even more than that. And I would have a lineup down the street. First, I started with just my work. Then I added up to 30 artists. I never had it online. I only had it in person. So people had to line up completely and come in, and I'd open the door and 60 or 70 people would come in. They'd take
Wow.
off the walls. It was crazy. So then COVID hit.
Yes.
I had to pivot. Now I was already working with the wonderful people that are behind Square Foot Show, my three other partners. I was already working with them on my own marketing and things like that. So I said,
Mhm.
I got to take this show online. So they did. They put it online for me. Well, we thought maybe 150 people might check in. I had 75 in line in person, maybe 150. I think I had about 20,000 Instagram subscribers at that point. So I knew people were watching, and I knew people wanted to participate, because every year before that, I, of course, did social media, but they could never buy because they weren't in
Yeah.
person. So the site launched at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we immediately crashed because 2,000 people hit the site. It was crazy. We sold, I think, 50 extra paintings. So that meant there was about 7 artists that sold duplicates. I sold
Oh,
6
no.
behind, because the WordPress site that we had wasn't savvy enough to get
Oh my goodness.
like milliseconds.
What
It
a
didn't, like,
mess.
people just were buying. So I had to phone every one of those customers. I had to phone all the artists and say, will you paint more? Do you have more? What? And everybody was just like, it was the most exciting show, even though we crashed. I went live, which started our opening the shows with lives, because I went live to say, we know it's crashing. We
Oh my
know
goodness.
this is insane, guys. And you guys are amazing. Like, thank you for being here. Don't fret. We're working on it. And every customer said, we're so excited to be part of it. We will take another painting from that artist. We will maybe choose something else from that
That is
artist.
amazing.
And every artist was so excited. They said, of course, we will paint more. So that the next day, Elias, who Wendy met on just a few minutes ago, he went and he got squarefootshow.com, Squarefoot Show Instagram, Facebook,
I
and
love it.
we started an online movement that now has thousands and thousands of subscribers. We have over 2,000 artists all the time that are applying to the shows. So we ended up having to go monthly so that
That
these
is
artists,
amazing.
so that these artists had opportunity.
That is so cool. That's so exciting.
We started with one show, went to 4, went to 6, now we're at 12. And I had to say, Wendy, I have been following Wendy on YouTube for a while. I just popped over onto your Instagram and followed you on Instagram, but I catch you on YouTube all the time.
That is so interesting because my Instagram is way more, I feel like, has brought in way more of my followers than YouTube. And so it's so interesting that that's where you found me first.
Well, I just launched my YouTube channel a couple of years ago, and I'm having a blast with it. So the algorithm must be sending me, artists to follow. So then I followed you on Instagram. I've been following you for quite a while on Instagram, but then I saw you come up in a reel, and I was like, oh, that's Wendy. I'll watch Wendy's reel. And you started talking about being in the Squarefoot show.
Yay.
And I went, I had no idea that Wendy was in my Squarefoot show. And I was so excited. And I phoned Dionne. Dionne, I didn't even realize you invited Wendy Brightbill. I follow her on YouTube. I felt a little fangirling. I was like,
yes.
Oh my gosh, she's in my show. So I reached out to you and I thought, you know what? I just got to get to know Wendy.
It's so fun. So I think we obviously have to thank Dionne for connecting us. Thank you, Dionne, if you're watching or if you're watching the replay. I have to say, I really didn't know much about the Squarefoot Art Show. And somehow, somewhere along the way, I think I was already on the mailing list, but you get so many emails and you get so many opportunities, presented as an artist that I wasn't fully familiar. And then Dionne had asked me and I said, oh yeah, this sounds like a great experience. I'd love to participate. And then life happened. And then Dionne messaged me again and she was like, are you, I thought you were joining. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I quick painted a whole bunch of 4 pieces for the show. And it's been really fun. Even just putting even just saying that I was going to be in it, a lot of my collectors and people who follow me were like, oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy that you're participating in. So it's really, really fun. And I was just looking over your site and getting to know you as well. So exciting.
Well, and that was one of the things, if people want to go back, they can find the interview with Dionne Woods. There are so many people in this world. It's so many artists who are working hard, building an empire, right?
Yes.
That we don't even know of.
Right.
And I'm thrilled because YouTube and Instagram and Squarefoot Show are putting us all together.
Yeah.
So what we do when we have a headliner like Dionne is she painted the giveaway. Somebody gets to win that giveaway. And she painted, I think she did 14 paintings. You have an opportunity as a headliner to paint, a lot more for the show.
Yes. It's so
It's
exciting.
Yeah, so she painted 14, but she also gets to, a headliner brings in 15 to 20, however many they want, artists who have never been in Square Fit Show before.
So
So
cool.
so we're kind of like, it's growing this
I
way.
love it.
And then when I saw that you were in it, I thought, oh, I got to do another live. I got to talk to Wendy, because I follow along, and I saw, what did I see recently? You've sold 650 small paintings.
Yes. Yeah. So, one of the things that I feel like has really kind of established me as an artist and in finding kind of my own art style is I started painting these small little square, but
Yep.
not 12 by 12. Mine are 8 by 8s.
Yeah.
And I have just found that it's a really great way for me to find collectors because it's a very accessible
Yeah.
size.
Absolutely.
And I have always priced them fairly affordable, like they're just $120. And I do palette knife oil paintings.
Yep.
And oftentimes a collector will come to me and they'll buy just one and they love it so much that they'll come back for more. But then it's also an invitation into purchasing a lot more of my work. And so it's kind of really how I have gotten my name out there and everything. And I just literally listed, they don't always go this fast, but I listed 10 last night and they all sold out within 6 hours. So I was like, holy cow.
Just wait.
So,
Just wait
yeah.
till those 4 go up on Square Fit Show next.
Yes, I'm so
5
excited.
minutes. 5 minutes.
But it took me years to find like the process that I love and really kind of that sweet spot for like a size and a selling point in my audience, right? And so
Absolutely.
I had to like perfect that over many years, right?
I call those paintings, when I'm doing my coaching, I call them grocery money paintings,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
A grocery money painting is a painting that sells quickly, that you're confident painting, that is
Yes.
fabulous, and it helps you pay for your bills. It helps you pay the dentist, pay the things,
Yes.
so that you don't have to have, like, if you want to be a full-time artist, so that you have income that you can count on, so that you can start doing the bigger ones, so that you can pay your rent, so you don't have to go work at the coffee shop. You can just paint a small painting, sell it, live for the day, right?
Yes. I
And
love that.
I always encourage people to find the thing, make it wonderful, but find the thing that people will snatch up.
Right. And I think there's something to be said about gosh, I just like totally blanked my thought here. Of course, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like, oh, a repeatable process, right?
Absolutely.
Having something that you can repeat over and over again. And I think that, that just comes with fine tuning those things that you, one, love doing, and two, that you are good at, right? Like you can't paint 600 of the same thing
No.
and not get better,
And don't
right?
you find that even though you've done 650, you're still enthralled by the paint smear that just
Yes,
happened? Like, you're like, "Oh, look at that." Like, it just
right.
brings life. These are not paintings that are, you're doing en masse, on rote. these are still expressions of yourself that
Yes.
make it accessible. And they are a gateway drug to people
Right.
coming in to getting bigger work.
Yes, exactly. And I think sometimes, like it takes time to find those things that you can get lost in the process of making,
Yeah.
right? And find those expressions that feel the most like you, right? And when you find those expressions that you absolutely love, it's not a chore to do it, right? If I was doing like pencil realistic portraits, there's no way that I could do 600 of those.
That's
But
right.
there's something about the oil paint and the palette knife that almost just feels like a meditation to me,
That's
and I find joy in it. So, yeah.
So let me ask you a few more questions. Where
Yes.
where are you in the world?
Oh, where am I located physically? I am in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Lovely.
A very, very beautiful city. We have an amazing art community. And one of my goals this year is to get out more in the art community locally because, I've built so much online that,
Yes.
it's so much more convenient for me in some ways to do a lot of my selling and everything online, but there is so much, I don't know, like there's so much that you can gather from meeting your customers in person,
Yeah.
right?
So
And
you want to do more shows?
yeah, I want to expand more locally and get out in the community. So I don't know. It's kind of like baby steps right now,
So
but
you've built all this on you. Are you
I've
saying that you have not spent all the years slogging your stuff around with tents?
I have not. And I
That's
think part of
amazing.
it is just because, like the lifestyle that I wanted to live, I have 3 girls that I've had the opportunity to stay home with.
Yeah,
And so for me, doing a lot of in person was just a lot more work, right? And so I have had the fortunate opportunity of building a lot of my stuff online, right?
absolutely. And those
So,
small paintings added to that. So if anybody's
absolutely.
watching and they're an artist and you're like, how in the world? So everybody has a different path. I was one of those artists that slogged stuff around with tents.
Yeah,
And now I no longer do it. Like now I have built enough and I'm in galleries across Canada. I
that's
don't
amazing.
do I don't do any more shows, but that doesn't mean when I go to them, I don't miss it. There are times
Right,
where
right.
I'll go to a show and oh, this would be so much fun to do. And then I realize that the whole
There's a lot more
is a
work
lot of work.
that goes into it. Yeah, and I think sometimes, like, you know, we it it's harder because, like, there is so much work up front, and then there's no guarantee, right, that a lot of this art will sell. But I do think that there is something to be said about meeting your customer face to face,
Absolutely.
because I think that,
Excuse me.
there's something really endearing about being able to tell your story
Mhm.
and to talk about your art and really just see people's responses to your work, right?
Yes. So I'm thinking for you and for me, um, your YouTube is doing that for your clients and your Instagram. However, the part you're missing is the response.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And just having that interaction, right? So I think I have, like, my next in-person art show is in August. So that should be really fun.
And where will that be?
It will be at a local store here that's called Meraki Springs in
Okay.
Old Colorado City. So, and I've actually been working with Megan there for, I think I've been there for like 3 years now.
Well,
So
that's
my
very
art is
exciting.
always in there, and it's been really fun because she told me like just a little while ago that people will walk into her store and they'll go, because they know me from my presence online, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, "That's Wendy Brightbill."
And they're like, ooh, and they can't believe it to see it in person.
Yeah, they're like, "Does she live here?" Because I don't necessarily talk so much about like
Yeah,
locally where
sure.
I am.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's very exciting. So how long have you been an artist?
I started my art practice and my business at the same time because I'm crazy like that. I'm very entrepreneurial,
Got it.
however you pronounce that.
Nailed it.
But I started in 2010.
Uh-huh.
I actually picked up a paintbrush after a brain injury from a car accident.
Wow.
And I had always been somewhat creative, but had never really been, never really thought of myself as an artist. And, you know, the art that I did before my brain injury was very like detailed. I like took classes on how to, do realistic pencil portraits,
Mhm.
right? But I never really considered myself an artist, right? Until after my car accident, and just really needed a way to heal from that, right? And so for me, once I picked up a paintbrush, I started with art journaling, which I think is a great informal practice for
Yeah.
you to have. And really just found healing from my brain injury. From I also dealt with lots of, chronic pain and depression. And so what I found was when I started painting with all of these bright, happy colors, and even just the act of making art allowed me to actually stay present, right? And really, I don't know, it just shifted everything in my life. And I thought, I love this, And the craziest part about it was that I found that I could be more creative after the brain injury
Oh, wow.
because it was actually like the left side, like, you know, one side of my brain was injured. And so I found like there were all of these like new creative connections that I was able to make in my brain that wasn't really there before. Right. And so I just say that, it was really just like a blessing in disguise, right? I had no idea that it would lead to this
No,
whole other
absolutely not.
life.
So when you started by taking some classes, you started art journaling. Did you start on your kitchen table?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I had like I was broke. I remember
You
going
had
to the
3 kids at
store.
this time too?
I had 2 kids,
2
under
kids, okay.
3.
Mm.
And so the third one hadn't come along yet, but it was I hardly had enough money. Like I bought those little like $2 tubes of paint, like
Yep,
the Martha Stewart.
yep.
And I started with getting collage and glue all over my hands. I had never done mixed media art before. And so when that opened up to me, it was just so healing because it was like I can find beauty in the mess and in the process. And I don't have to, like, I didn't care about what the painting looked like in the
Sure.
end, right? It was about the process of making art and just making a mess. And in some ways, I think it was a reflection of what was going on in my life. Like, even though my life felt like such a mess at the time, like it's
Yeah.
okay,
You're
right?
recovering. Yeah, for
And
sure.
I can find beauty in that, right? And so, yeah, so I haven't like I opened an Etsy shop and
That was
then
going to be my next question was how did you sell your first painting?
I started on Etsy. I did start in person in those beginning years and found like some of the same people who still follow me today, right? And I think I did maybe a few in-person workshops and then had my third child. And
Yeah.
so then things kind of again shifted back online and I started a YouTube channel back then and then I kind of left my YouTube channel which I'm like kicking myself for. Um, I just didn't really post consistently over the
Sure.
years. And I have like maybe since I've gone back to YouTube, like maybe in the last year or two, I've, hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube now. But man, I just wish I had stayed. But I really built a lot of my business on Instagram.
Yeah.
So,
I found Instagram was very, very helpful for me as well.
right,
Once I hit a certain
right.
level with Instagram, and Instagram ebbs and flows. Like
It
even
does.
now, it's harder to get certain. You hear everybody talking about it, but my big tips for everybody is post often.
Yes.
Have some quality posts. I don't want to see your dog or your dinner. Right?
Right.
Like we just do a different total Instagram if you want to show that stuff. Make sure your top 9 people know when they land
Yes.
on your Instagram, they know what they're finding. And YouTube, I'm finding not everybody wants to do it, but I'm finding it quite awesome. My YouTube, because I'm not a teacher. Are you a coach? Like, do you do workshops?
I so I teach a lot of online art classes. I've done some coaching, but I kind of am taking a little bit of a break from coaching. We have a sweet little lovebird that might make an appearance, just so you know.
You've got some sun
He's
shining in
he
today too.
Oh, I know. It's I can't do anything about it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just that time of the day. But what was the question? I totally lost my train
Oh,
of thought.
I've lost it too.
Gosh darn it.
It was about doing YouTube, I guess. I don't know. Oh, do you coach?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have had different mentorship programs over the years, and I'm currently sort of taking a little bit of a break from that just because I got a little burnt out and needed to just get back to making the art. But I have like over 30 courses
Wow.
on Teachable right now.
So
So,
somebody, RN Shimilar wants to see some of your artwork up close. Can you hold up a
okay.
painting up close?
Yeah. So, do you want to start with the paintings that'll be in the art show?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So everybody, these paintings are going on sale next Thursday, the 14th of May,
Okay.
and at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got to be online right at 8. And we always suggest that you buy one at a time because if you're browsing around and you put in one of Wendy's, one of Dionne's, maybe one of mine, that's a good collection. Somebody might actually be able to take it out of your cart before you get to checkout. And you might be like, oh, I lost it. So,
Good
okay,
tip.
Wendy.
Okay. So I have 4 pieces that will be in the Square Foot Art Show. And hopefully, I don't know.
There you go.
The
That's good.
problem is that where the sun is
And we
hitting,
can, we can
I
see it.
wonder if I turn my
There you go. That's great. Fantastic.
Okay, so this is one I do these crazy
I love that on the
boards with the
side.
crazy sides. For whatever reason, that's one of the things that I do on my minis, and everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So this one is one of them.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
Do you
And
paint in layers or are you in pastel pretty fast?
so for these ones, I do mostly layers. So on my boards, I start with, and this is how I do like my minis. I have a class, Crazy Floral Bouquet, where I teach this whole entire process. But I do acrylics as sort of my underpainting, and I like to do like just abstract shapes, and then I come back and I turn it into an impasto painting
Right.
with
Sure.
oils on top. So here we go. Here's another one of the pieces here.
Gorgeous. And the theme for the show is that Dionne picked was Awaken,
Awaken.
which is so
Yeah.
suitable for spring, isn't it?
Yes. And I really do feel like, you know, if you really want to see these pieces a little bit better, the lighting isn't maybe the best on like my webcam. So I feel like you're not necessarily getting the full effect. So I recommend going to my Instagram to go watch the video, because I feel like you can get a better idea.
Absolutely. And your Instagram is Wendy Brightbill?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Wendy Brightbill.
So,
okay.
And on that note as well, if people sign up at squarefootshow.com for our newsletter, you will get a 48-hour preview, and then you can browse to your heart's content, and make a list of all the paintings, and then you can see them really big, because Wendy has submitted beautiful photos for her work, and all the artists have, and you'll be able to just peruse at your leisure for 48 hours before the show starts, and then you're ready.
Yeah.
So that's at squarefootshow.com, and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get the 48-hour preview and a chance to win Dionne's piece.
So exciting. Okay. So here are my other two pieces. So this one's really fun. I went with like a darker.
Lovely.
theme.
I really love the edges.
They're super
They're
fun.
so fun.
Yeah, why not have fun? Life is meant to be fun. Okay. And here's the last one. And I actually, normally when I do my
love it,
oil paintings, I do like a lot more like thicker texture to my pieces, but these are more focused on like blending through with colors and stuff. So it's a little bit different than my normal go-to style. So those are my four pieces, but I thought I would share maybe one of my minis so people can get a better idea. So this is one of the minis.
That is fantastic.
So you can see
luscious,
really luscious and really thick.
Yeah.
Paint, oil paint.
Yeah. And you're obviously a master of color.
I love color. So are you.
Yeah. It's instinctual at this point, isn't it?
So fun.
I know.
So I also brought a few questions for you as well. We are also streaming on my YouTube.
Okay.
And I was just really excited. One thing that really stood out to me from looking at your profile was just, it seems like you are a champion for artists. And I love that because, you know, sometimes I think there is sometimes like this, you know, like this icky, like competitive world sometimes that can happen in the art world. And I just really think that, you know, I love working with other artists who love to collaborate and to support other artists. And I think what you're doing with especially the Square Foot Art Show and like helping other artists, like, you know, get out there and, you know, like sell their art. Like, it's so important. And I think that we truly need each other, right?
We really do.
And I just, I could tell from your profile that that is like who you are. And so I think that's really awesome. So, gosh, I had
What
to
was
write
the
down my
question? That
questions.
was just a nice thing to say, but what was the
Yeah.
question?
And it seems like you've been doing it for a while, right?
Well, I think it started with the square foot show in my studio.
Yes.
So I had been like, a square foot show is not a unique concept, right? To have
Right.
a square foot show, have the same price across. It's and even there are square foot shows that everybody has different prices and stuff too. So that wasn't unusual. I was in several before I even started my own. And I started my own with about 30 or 40 of my own paintings. And then they sold out. They literally sold out with it by 8 p.m. I opened at
Wow.
7. They sold. And I thought, well, I can't make any more. This is not sustainable. So I
Right.
started inviting my friends that I was slowly getting
Yes.
to know. And then as my Instagram following was growing, and then I was spending more time looking around at artists and creating friends, I started inviting people from all over to be part of my show. And they would all mail in. They used to have to mail in their pieces so that I could have it on the wall. So that was when the COVID concept happened. They didn't have to mail it in anymore. You keep
Right.
your art, you send me a good photo. With iPhones and, Androids, like, we can all get a great shot.
Right.
We didn't have to do all of that mailing back and forth. And when they sell, we ship them. And we have been able, so I feel like I didn't plan all this, but I also have a gallery. I have a gallery that we have 45
Wow.
Canadian artists
That
in.
is amazing.
Yeah.
What is the name of your gallery?
Crown and Press. It's in
Crown and Press.
Hamilton.
Okay.
And but the neat thing was, by the time I opened my gallery, which will be open 3 years this June, I had stats, Wendy. I could look at the square foot show and say, because we have a Canadian artist, which Canadian artists sold out every time. And those are the artists that I was able to say, hey, you want to be in my gallery? Let's start something awesome with sellout artists to begin with. So the artists that are in my gallery are quite popular. And what's really neat is we've got quite a few artists from Square Foot Show that have gone from part-time starting painting in COVID to full-time artists now.
That is amazing.
And they're in
That is so
galleries across
amazing.
the country because they've discovered, COVID allowed them to discover something about themselves that they probably had an inkling that
Right.
they wanted to do, but it gave them time and freedom. And so as bad as COVID was, for many people, especially artists, it was a
I
real time.
I
It's
do feel
awakening.
like
See how I did
COVID was such a catalyst, don't you think?
that?
Like, I found that, like, one, my courses did really well, but
Yep.
also, you know, people were like stuck in their houses
Well, I
and
started
they're like, I need art for my walls.
Well, my daughter suggested, she said, Mom, you should go live, say on Fridays for an
Yes.
hour on Instagram. So my other daughter lived with me. She was, I think, 26 or 5 at the time. She and her husband lived in our basement apartment. And so she would come up and she would help me with the live on Fridays. And we had 200, 300, 400 people
Wow.
um signing in for this live, and my follows just started increasing, and I found it was really fun because I took a flight when we were allowed to fly, and I still had a mask on, and the flight attendant came and said, are you Julia Veenstra? And I was like, number one, I have a mask on, how can you tell? And she's like, oh, I can tell, I watch you every Friday.
Oh my gosh.
And
And that is so amazing. I think that that is like literally, like, they're saying that, like, that is one of the best ways to start selling now is by going live.
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
And I find the YouTubes, and I'm a point and shoot YouTuber. I'm not, we do not edit a lot of this. Like
That is awesome.
I
Yeah.
just point, shoot, talk everybody's ear off. It's always funny. I find the ones that really hit, the artists want a lot of artist information. Those are the ones that give me like thousands of views. When I'm just showing them my garden, I get lots
Yeah.
of views, but not as many. But I'm like,
Right.
you're getting me, and you're getting the whole, just part of me. But somebody wants to know how they can buy your work.
Yes.
Number
So
one,
I
Squarefoot Show next Thursday night at
yes.
squarefootshow.com. Log in, because you're going to get Wendy's pieces for 300 American, 350 Canadian. But how else can they get your work?
Yes. So if you go to my Instagram, Wendy Brightbill, I am still just selling my art through Etsy right now. And my Etsy site link is in through my Instagram. So,
Perfect. So you don't
yeah.
even, Wendy, you
Yeah.
don't even have a website.
I have websites, but they are like not I'm not selling my art through my website.
I am fascinated by this.
I am such a procrastinator. I'm like, I know I need to like set up my website and everything, but my system works that I use for Etsy,
Mhm.
and I don't want to teach myself something new right now,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know? And Etsy was just how I started, and I think I don't even know how many paintings I've sold through there, but it makes life easier. I get a better deal on shipping, so I'm like, well,
Fascinating.
one day I'll like, switch over to my own website and everything, but
Well,
until then,
if you never need any help on that, I've got the best team. I can
okay.
we can help you out. But what I want to say to all of that, and Kim, thank you for the question, um, is look, guys, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be,
Right.
I have to be a successful artist with 10,000 followers before I can sell anything. I have to be,
Yes.
it's make it work. Be scrappy.
Yep. Yeah. And it's also about systems, right? Because the I feel like as artists, that's one of the things that we kind of struggle with. We can be kind of scatterbrained, like, and I still am,
Sure.
but the areas where I have learned how to develop a system for shipping, a system for listing, a system for photographing my art, a system for sharing on social media, you know, and like once you tighten up your system and you find those things that work for you, like it doesn't matter. Like if it's working, it's
Yeah.
working, right?
I remember the first time I put some art online. It was just a little one, and I said, I'm going to put in the next half an hour, or maybe I said tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm going to
Right?
release on Instagram. And this is before they couldn't buy it on my website. I'm going to release on Instagram every 10 minutes a new 6x6 painting. The
So
first
fun.
person to say sold gets to buy it.
Yes.
And I sold them. Like, it was so fun. Like,
Right. I think you're frozen, Julia.
artists, I've
Oh,
encouraged so many. Are we back? We're back. We're
I
okay.
think we're back. Okay, I can hear
I've
you now.
encouraged so many artists to take that risk, to say first sold gets to buy it. Like, this is available. People are afraid, Wendy, to put themselves out there. They're
Yes.
thinking that they have 800 followers, 100 followers, that every time they post, that's bugging their friends. And I'm
Yes.
here to say hardly any of them see it.
Right.
Hardly any of them see it. So the ones that do see it are coming to look for you, and they want to see it.
Absolutely. And do it more than once,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like sometimes like artists, like one of the things that I've had to consistently coach artists through is just, you know, making it easy for people to buy, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I love about just keeping my art on Etsy. Like, they go through this, oh, well, I posted a photo, and most of the time it's just like a little square image, or even now with like the longer format, they post photos, and they don't like tell people, like, if you want to buy this painting, here's a link to
Yeah.
my shop,
Yeah.
and
Or
here's where to
DM me.
go and what the price is.
Yeah.
And yet, like, I think artists don't realize like how many sales they're missing out on because they're not making it easy for people to buy, right? Like,
Yeah.
even like, you will be surprised, even if you say like, DM me for details. Like, if someone, like, people like to almost like stalker by your art, right? Like,
Yeah.
they want to go look at your shop. They want to see like how many paintings you've sold. They want to see the price. They want to see this. They want to see the sides of your art. They want to see what it's going to look like in their home, right? They want to see what the substrate looks like. They want to see what it looks like styled in their home, right?
Oh,
And
do you
so
do all that? Like, do you put your work in a fake, is that your Etsy as well? They can see it in somebody's house?
I actually encourage artists not to use the styling apps. I think you should style it in your own home,
Okay.
right? So I feel like sometimes those, like, fake, like the ones that kind of look more fake, like, I'm talking about, when I say styled, I mean like taking a photo of what I
On
did
your
with it
wall.
on my wall,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like what it looks like in real life, having
Again,
other
people want
things,
a piece of
you
you.
know, put put some books and a vase in front of it, like, give it personality, have it fit, like the aesthetic of who your ideal customer is for your
I
art.
love it. And what Wendy is giving everybody permission to do is you don't have to buy apps. You don't have to buy
No.
all these things. You just take your camera, your iPhone, you've all got one. Learn a few things, like
Right.
crop it, don't get your laundry in the background, or
Right.
something like that. Make it look nice. But
Yeah.
it's we can give ourselves permission to do more, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can even put up a process painting, and
Right.
people will love it. Now, I've often put up processes because my I start all my canvases with a red background,
Background. I love
except
that.
for the abstracts, and I want to talk about that, and then I think we'll have to close up so that we don't
Yes.
take way too long. But I start everything on a red background, and there have been times that I've posted like half done paintings where the sky is still red, and people get a lot. They comment a lot on that, like, "Stop, it's finished." And to be honest, it looks great, but I've never had anybody say, "I'll buy it now." So,
Right.
but it creates a lot of interest. And so the last thing I want to talk to you about, because I saw this somewhere, and I'm wondering if it's recent for you or not. I am exploring abstracts,
I love abstract.
and I am doing my first show in May 30th at my gallery. And it's so vulnerable. Like, this is my traditional stuff. This
Yes.
is actually even a little darker because what's interesting about these is these were from the west coast of BC, right in the kind of in the forest. So the
Mhm.
colors seem to come out different than when I'm painting cottage country or flowers here. But I'm starting abstracts. Now, I saw something recently by you. It was either recent or YouTube, you never know when it is.
Yeah.
But you were talking about trying to push yourself into softer lines,
Oh, yes,
become
yes.
more abstracted.
Right. So one of the things that I have, like, I'm always challenging myself as an artist. I'm always pushing the limits. And so one of the things that I have been challenging myself to do is get a much more softer blended look. And I have a new course, The Art of Softening, which starts June 1st.
Nice.
And like I have done 100 pieces, like a huge stack of paper where I'm going from a much more graphic shape of like my minis that I'm
Yep.
doing and trying to get it a little bit more blended, a little bit softer. And actually, I feel like the pieces that I did for the Square Foot Art Show are the result of that deeper work that I've been doing
That
to
is so
soften up my art style. And they have been a little bit more abstract, right? Because you're able to get that more like depth and I don't know, just a different feeling to it. So it's been really fun to
for
challenge
me.
myself in that way.
For me, it's been a little vulnerable at times. Like if
Yes.
I remember you saying at the beginning of this talk, it for you, it was all about messy, about making it and having fun. And I tend to be a little bit, no, it has to be great. It has to be
Right.
great from the beginning. And so now I'm finding myself giving myself permission to be more messy. But
Yes.
even so, even in the mess, I get a little bit, I'm looking around my studio, seeing if there's anything I can grab. Even in the mess, though, I've been thoroughly enjoying the freedom that that is giving me. And so I want to end with saying to artists, if in this talk, if you got anything, it's like be scrappy, do stuff, post,
Yes. Put
uh,
yourself out there.
get yourself out there and talk about yourself. Everybody's not watching. You're not bugging anybody. You know,
No.
they don't have to come see your Instagram. And I hope you really enjoyed getting to know Wendy. And I'm telling you, I'm fangirling. I could not believe it when I saw your little reel about Scrifford. I'm like, she's in my show. This
What?
is amazing.
That's
This
so
is
exciting.
great.
Yes.
So
It's
I
so
want to finish
fun.
off with you can find Wendy at Wendy Brightbill on Instagram. That's where she does most of her stuff, and her links and everything for Etsy will be there.
Yeah.
She's gonna have 4 pieces in our Square Fit show, which is happening May 14th. And it's laughing. Lindsay is not here. Lindsay usually helps me, and she usually has all the banners that come up. So we won't have them, but we'll have the link in the description when you come back and watch this. May 14th, the show goes live at
Yay.
8 p.m. It's 24 hours only. But most of it happens in
Awesome.
the first 4 hours. So
So
you got to
exciting.
come, you got to shop.
Early. Come
Yes.
early.
Sign up at squarefootshow.com for the preview and a chance to win a prize. And the last thing I kind of want to say and is allude to, because I think I need to give Wendy more information. But Wendy, we really want to invite you to be a headliner.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I
Yeah,
would love
doesn't
that.
it? I think we'll have a lot of fun, and it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see the artists that you bring to Square Foot Show.
Yes.
And
Yes. That would be fun.
a really fun thing, we use Shopify for our website. The
Hmm.
most fun is when we go live is to look at our Shopify map and see where everybody's shopping.
That
It's
is so cool.
there's dots all over North America and into Europe at this point. And we've got an artist in the next show that is in India. We've had some from UK. Like it's really quite fun. So Square Foot Show, everything's $350. Everything's 12 by 12, 300 American, free shipping. And it's going to be a blast. So thank
That's
you,
so
Wendy. This
awesome.
was
And I
so
think
fun.
we should do another like interview where we go more in depth about selling art and
I
all of
would love
those
to.
things
I would love
because
to do that with you.
that would just be so fun. I
And it
love,
doesn't have to relate to Square Foot Show. We'll just do our own.
yeah,
We'll just do another live.
yeah, that sounds like fun. I saw that you have a course
I do
on
have a course.
selling. And
I
so
do.
I would love to find out more about that. So
Yes, I
cool.
have the Business of Art course, and I teach. I don't teach you how to paint. I figure by the time you're taking my Business of Art course, you've got. But I do teach you about style and your niche, and trying not to sell, things that make you look like you're a group show. I teach how to pare down for
Right.
things, and I teach you how to market and I think I'm
I
pretty
love
good
it.
at it. So the course
I
is
would
very
say.
useful, and it comes with a Facebook group that we chat all the time in there. Lots of questions from all the artists that have taken my class. So thanks for mentioning that. And we're going to end the stream now. I hope
Okay.
everybody had a great
Oh, you're frozen again. I can't see you. Are we still
time.
live?